All right, welcome to Deep Dive. Today we're diving into a framework for understanding how we react to external chaos. All those conflicting viewpoints and events that can kind of throw us off balance. At our source, it breaks us down into 5 distinct levels, and it really is a journey, from those knee-jerk emotional reactions to a place of wisdom and inner peace. So, level 1. It's all about emotional reactivity. That feeling of being totally caught up in the drama, right? Like, who's in charge? What decisions are they making? How's it going to affect me? It kind of feels like every external event becomes this personal battle. We instantly jump to, I must support this, or I gotta fight against that, you know what I mean? It's exhausting. All that energy spent reacting, getting worked up, just leaves us scattered and anxious. Think about it. How many times have you gotten sucked into like a political debate online? Or felt that knot in your stomach over a big decision at work? That's level 1 right there. But here's the thing. There's a way to step back on that ledge. Level 2, we start to find some breathing room. It's called rational balancing. And it's all about bringing in some logic. We start to realize maybe those leadership changes or different opinions aren't actually going to derail our whole lives. It's like taking off the blinders and seeing the bigger picture. Instead of just blindly opposing or agreeing, we can ask ourselves, what's the best way forward? What actually serves my goals? Regardless of who's in charge or what they're doing, And the beauty of this is we start making decisions from a calmer, more centered place. Less emotional baggage, more clarity. And that, my friend, is a game changer. Now, ready for level 3. This is where things get really interesting and really empowering. It's called strategic focus. And it's based on this simple but profound realization. We can't control most external events. Weather other people's opinions, the stock market, so much of it is just beyond our grasp. But here's the amazing part. We can control our own actions and values. And that's where our true power lies. Level 3 is about getting laser focused on what we can influence. Our skills, our productivity, the kind of life we're building for ourselves. Those external changes, they become like background noise. We're aware of them, but they don't dictate our emotions or derail our progress. It's like finding that inner compass, right? That guides us no matter what storms are raging around us. We're able to go with the flow, adapting to situations while staying true to ourselves. Pretty cool, right? But we don't stop there. Get ready to dive even deeper, because level 4 takes us to a whole new plane. Philosophical transcendence. This is where we start to ponder the big questions. Like, what's the meaning of life? What's my purpose? And you know what? We start asking those questions, those external battles that once seemed so crucial. They start to lose their grip on us. Political dramas, workplace gossip, even those heated online debates, they all start to look a little different when viewed from this higher vantage point. It's like we're watching clouds drift by. They're still there, but they don't define our reality anymore. We're no longer clinging to specific outcomes, trying to force the world to fit our expectations. And that, my friends, is where true freedom begins. But the journey isn't over yet. We still have one more level to explore. The pinnacle of understanding. Ultimate wisdom. This is where we reach a profound grasp of life's transience and the ultimate insignificance of all that external conflict. More on that in part 2. Welcome back to your deep dive. Remember level 5, ultimate wisdom. That's where we're headed now. This level, it's about, living a life that kind of transcends the ups and downs of external chaos. It's about finding this deep, unshakable peace that comes from aligning our actions with our values, no matter the outcome. Like, we're no longer seeking external validation or clinging to specific results. We're simply showing up, doing our best, and accepting whatever comes our way. Kind of with a sense of, equanimity. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds incredibly profound, almost mystical, right? But how do we actually apply these levels to our everyday lives? Well, I think it starts with awareness. Take a moment to reflect. Where do you find yourself on this spectrum of understanding right now? Are you caught up in the throes of emotional reactivity? Or have you started to find some balance and strategic focus? Once we have a clear picture of our current state, we can start making conscious choices about how we respond to the world around us. Let's say you're facing a tricky situation at work. Maybe there's a new policy you disagree with, or your boss is making changes you find frustrating. If you're operating from level 1, that emotional reactivity, you might feel anger, resentment, even panic. You might start gossiping with colleagues or complaining nonstop, which, let's face it, just drains your energy and amplifies the stress. But what if you could shift to level 2, rational balancing? Suddenly, you're able to approach this situation with a little more logic. You can ask yourself, okay, what are the potential benefits of this new policy? What are the possible downsides? And, most importantly, how can I adapt to this situation in a way that still allows me to achieve my goals? Level 2 is all about finding that balance between accepting what you can control and taking action where you can. It's about choosing to focus on solutions instead of getting bogged down in problems. Now imagine taking it a step further. Reaching level 3, strategic focus. This is where you tap into your inner power. You start to realize that your job, while important, doesn't define your entire worth. You have skills, talents, and passions that extend far beyond your current role. Instead of feeling threatened by the changes at work, you might see them as an opportunity for growth. Maybe it's time to learn new skills, explore different opportunities, or simply redefine your definition of success. The point is, you're no longer letting external events dictate your happiness or sense of purpose. You're in the driver's seat, charting your own course. Now those upper levels, philosophical transcendence and ultimate wisdom, might seem a little more abstract, but trust me, they're just as powerful. Level 4 is all about recognizing the impermanence of everything. Jobs change, relationships evolve, even our own bodies go through transformations. When you can accept this truth, we can start to let go of that need to control every little thing. We find peace in the present moment, knowing that even the most difficult challenges will eventually pass. And level 5, that's the ultimate state of wisdom, of being fully present and aligned with our deepest values. It's about living a life guided by purpose, detached from outcomes, and open to whatever experiences come our way. Now I know all of this can sound a bit overwhelming. You might be thinking, how in the world do I actually reach these higher levels? It seems impossible. But here's the good news. The source also offers some practical tools to help us cultivate this kind of understanding. And those tools are what we'll focus on in part 3. Alright, welcome back. For the final part of our deep dive into navigating external chaos, we've been exploring these 5 levels of understanding, right? And how they can, well, help us stay engaged in the world without being totally swept away by it. Finding that sweet spot, where we can kind of weather any storm. But before we wrap up, I want to share a few more gems from the source, things that really resonated with me, things that can help us move through those levels with a little more grace. One of the most powerful tools, and this might not come as a surprise, is mindfulness. By practicing mindfulness, whether it's through meditation or yoga, or even just paying attention to our breath, we become more aware of our thoughts and our feelings, and even those subtle bodily sensations. And this awareness, it helps us detach from those reactive thoughts and emotions that can keep us stuck at the lower levels. Think of it like this. We start to observe our thoughts and feelings, but without judgment, just recognizing them as kind of passing phenomena, like clouds, drifting across the sky. They're there, we acknowledge them, but we don't have to get caught up in them. And what pairs beautifully with mindfulness? Gratitude. When we focus on what we're grateful for, it shifts our attention away from what's wrong and toward what's right. It helps us appreciate the good in our lives, even amidst challenges, right? And the best part is gratitude can be practiced anytime, anywhere. Like, start a gratitude journal. Make a list each morning of things you're thankful for, or just take a moment throughout your day to appreciate the simple things. A warm cup of tea, a sunny day, a good conversation with a friend. These small acts of gratitude can have a profound impact on our overall well-being and on our ability to navigate those inevitable ups and downs, Now, another key takeaway from the source is self-awareness. It's about understanding our own triggers, those patterns of reactivity, the things that tend to push our buttons. Because once we know our triggers, we can start developing strategies for managing them. Maybe it's taking a few deep breaths before responding to a stressful email, or setting boundaries with people who tend to drain our energy. Whatever works for you. The key is to be proactive, not reactive. And speaking of perspective, that's another powerful tool for navigating external chaos. Remember the analogy of the clouds passing by. It's a good reminder that nothing stays the same forever. Challenges come and go, and even the most difficult times, they'll eventually pass. So when we're feeling overwhelmed or lost in the storm, it can be helpful to zoom out, just to remind ourselves that our current situation is just a small blip in the grand scheme of things. And this brings us to another crucial point. Acceptance. It's about letting go of that need to control everything. Accepting that some things in life, we simply cannot change. And this doesn't mean we become passive or give up on our goals. It simply means we choose to focus our energy on what we can control. Our own actions, our thoughts, our responses to the world around us. And when we can truly accept what is, we create space for peace and joy to enter our lives. So as you move through your day, your week, your life, I encourage you to keep these levels of understanding in mind. Remember, you have the power to choose how you respond to external chaos. You can choose to react from a place of fear, anger, frustration. Or you can choose to respond from a place of wisdom, clarity, peace. It's a journey, I know. And there will be times when you find yourself slipping back into old patterns, old habits, that reactivity. That's okay. Just notice it, acknowledge it, and gently guide yourself back to that place of balance and inner peace. Because the goal isn't to be perfect, or to never experience challenges. The goal is to navigate those challenges with grace, with resilience, and with a deep knowing that you're not defined by the chaos around you. You are the captain of your own ship. You have the power to chart your own course, and you have the wisdom to navigate any storm that comes your way. Keep exploring, keep growing, keep diving deep. Until next time, take care.